Imagine a football stadium that has stood in the same place for over 110 years, surviving 2 world wars and a financial crisis that forced the club to sell the ground beneath their own feet. That is the Philips Stadion, home of PSV Eindhoven, a ground so beloved that every single home match sells out completely, with thousands of supporters on a waiting list that never gets shorter. And a stadium that UEFA once banned from using its own name during the biggest match it ever hosted. Right now, PSV are planning to transform it from 35,000 seats to nearly 60,000, making it the largest club stadium in the Netherlands. The design is unlike anything currently being built anywhere in Europe, but the ambition behind it comes with serious challenges. And the story behind it all is one of the most fascinating in modern football. This is the full story of the Philips Stadion expansion, and it starts with a ground that was never built for football fans in the first place. The Philips Stadion has been PSV Eindhoven's home since 1910, originally built as a private sports field for Philips Electronics Company employees in the heart of Eindhoven. For the first 15 years of the club's existence, only Philips employees were allowed to play for PSV. The stadium has never moved from its original plot of land in over 110 years, and it has been at the center of some of the most extraordinary moments in Dutch football history. When UEFA held the 2006 UEFA Cup final at this very ground, they banned the Philips name entirely and forced it to be temporarily renamed PSV Stadion under their commercial naming rules. The same controversy now surrounding the Aztecas Banorte renaming happened here in Eindhoven nearly 20 years ago. But the stadium's biggest problem has never been its name, it has been its size. At just 35,119 seats, the Philips Stadion is permanently full and has been for years. Every single home match sells out completely. The season ticket waiting list currently stands at over 10,000 people, and in its current configuration, the stadium can only be expanded by a further 2,000 seats without major structural work. PSV's financial director Jaap van Baar described the situation bluntly. The region is growing, and the club expects that to continue, which is why they need to look at expansion. An entire generation of PSV supporters has grown up with almost no realistic chance of attending a home match. And the problem has been building for decades while solutions kept falling short. The Philips Stadion has been renovated and expanded multiple times over the past century, but always in small increments, never a full transformation. Each upgrade bought PSV a few more years, but none of them solved the fundamental problem. And the consequences of falling behind financially became painfully clear in 2011, when PSV was forced to sell the land underneath their own stadium and training ground to the municipality of Eindhoven for 48.4 million euros just to survive. A club that had dominated Dutch football for decades was now paying annual rent to play on ground they used to own. What finally made the situation impossible to ignore was European football. PSV earned over 170 million euros in their 2024-25 Champions League season, a remarkable figure for a Dutch club. But despite that success, they still generated less matchday revenue than Ajax produced in a Europa League season, purely because Ajax's Johan Cruyff Arena holds 56,000 fans, while the Philips Stadion holds just 35,119. That gap cost PSV tens of millions in lost revenue every single season they compete in Europe. Marcel Brands, PSV's general manager, put it simply: capacity expansion means extra revenue on which the club is currently restricted, and without it, PSV cannot grow to the level their European ambitions demand. The fan base potential in the Eindhoven city center is projected to grow by 5% through 2030 and 10% through 2040, meaning the demand will only get bigger. The time to act is now. By October 2023, PSV had seen enough. The club appointed Hypercube, one of Europe's leading sports venue consultancy firms, to carry out a comprehensive assessment of every available option. In April 2024, after 6 months of research, Hypercube delivered their conclusion. The current location is optimal, and the Philips Stadion will not be replaced. It will be transformed. Construction is expected to start in 2027, with the full expansion completed before 2030. And what PSV are planning to build around it is one of the most ambitious stadium projects in Dutch football history. PSV are not just adding seats, they are planning to take the Philips Stadion from 35,119 to somewhere between 52,000 and 58,500, making it largest club stadium in the Netherlands for the first time in the club's history. PSV have already applied for a permit to expand by a maximum of 25,000 seats, which would push total capacity towards 60,000. But the numbers are only part of the story. What PSV are actually planning to build is something that has genuinely never been attempted at any stadium in the Netherlands before. The concept starts with a colonnade, a continuous ring of columns wrapping around all four sides of the existing stadium simultaneously. Rather than rebuilding one stand at a time, PSV are going bigger and bolder. A completely new third tier will rise on all four sides at once, creating a unified continuous bowl with no mismatched sections and no patchwork of old and new parts. When finished, the Philips Stadion will look and feel like an entirely new ground, while the original bowl that generations of PSV supporters have stood and sung in for over a century remains intact underneath. The exterior of that colonnade is where the design becomes truly distinctive and genuinely unlike anything in Dutch football. Rather than the glass and steel facades of modern stadium architecture, PSV's plans feature green vegetation beds growing directly on the outer shell, plants and greenery covering the entire facade, turning the expanded Philips Stadion into a living structure that no other stadium in the Netherlands can match. Fans will approach the ground walking underneath the colonnade, surrounded by greenery, before entering the stadium. Inside the expanded stadium, the additional tier unlocks a completely new commercial dimension. New business clubs, premium viewing lounges, hospitality suites, and corporate boxes, on a scale the current ground simply cannot accommodate. PSV already host concerts at the Philips Stadion. Dutch artist Guus Meeuwis has played there every single year since 2006, a tradition so beloved that his annual shows are now part of Eindhoven's cultural calendar. The expanded stadium is designed to make year-round event programming a permanent feature, a genuine entertainment hub generating revenue every single week of the year. The roof decision is the one detail still being finalized, and it is arguably the most important choice in the entire project. A fully enclosed roof locks atmosphere inside the bowl and creates one of the most intimidating home environments in European football. A partially open structure reduces costs but sacrifices acoustic power. Market research confirmed a sustainable visitor potential of 55,000 to 60,000 fans per match, meaning every seat will be filled regardless of which option is chosen. Once complete, the stadium will be considered permanently finished. No further structural changes will ever be possible. But before any of that becomes reality, PSV must navigate the financial and logistical challenge that will define whether this vision is ever delivered. PSV have been clear about one thing from the very beginning. This project will be funded entirely by the club itself, without a single euro of public money. The estimated cost sits between 350 million euros and 450 million euros, making it the most expensive stadium project in Dutch football history. To put that into perspective, Ajax's Johan Cruyff Arena cost approximately 140 million euros when it opened in 1996. PSV are planning to spend more than 3 times that amount on an expansion alone. The full financing model has not yet been publicly confirmed, but the direction is set and the commitment from both the club and the city is real. What makes that commitment even more significant is the history behind it. In January 2014, PSV publicly announced plans to reach 50,000 seats by 2020, a target that came and went without a single seat being added. The land ownership situation made any major project almost impossible without the city's full cooperation, and that cooperation never materialized. A decade later, PSV are back with the same ambition. But this time, the letter of intent was formally signed in November 2025 by both the club and the city of Eindhoven. For the first time in the club's history, PSV and the city are formally committed to delivering this project together. The challenges ahead are real and cannot be dismissed. The municipality of Eindhoven owns the land. PSV controls it under a lease until 2051, meaning every structural change requires the city's formal approval at every stage. The Eindhoven City Council has already raised specific concerns around safety, accessibility, and neighborhood impact during construction. A dedicated mobility plan is being developed to keep the stadium and surrounding streets accessible throughout the entire build, on both match days and non-match days. And the expansion is still subject to obtaining all necessary permits before a single brick can be moved, meaning the project that looks certain on paper is not yet legally guaranteed in any way. Construction is targeted to begin in 2027 with full completion before 2030. And in a detail that separates this project from almost every major stadium expansion in European football, PSV will play every single home match throughout the entire 3-year build. No temporary ground, no seasons in exile. Marcel Brands specifically visited Manchester City's Etihad Stadium, currently being expanded while fully operational, to study exactly how to make that possible. Not one game missed, not one supporter turned away. When the expanded Philips Stadion opens before 2030, with over 52,000 fans inside a unified continuous bowl, it will transform everything about what PSV can be. More revenue, stronger squad investment, and a stadium finally worthy of their European ambitions. The Philips Stadion started as a sports field for factory workers in 1910. When it reopens, it will be the largest and most commercially powerful stadium in the Netherlands, built on the same plot of land where it all began over a century ago. So, PSV failed to deliver their expansion promise once before. Do you think they can finally get it done this time? And will a 52,000-seat Philips Stadion make them a genuine force in European football? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button for more football stadium stories just like this one.